You can take those knees as wide or as narrow as you wish, those toes coming together behind you, and just reach those arms out in front. Now, if you do have any discomfort in the shoulders here, you can always stack those fists on top of one another and rest the forehead here if that's a little more comfortable. So just take this time to close the eyes, bring that focus into the breath. Nice long inhales, nice long exhales. Extending long through the fingertips. And then maybe shifting those hips right and left, finding any tight spots through the low back. And just take a couple more breaths here. On that next inhale, go ahead and lift to all fours. So the shoulders stacked over the wrists, the hips stacked over the knees, engaging through the abs. And from here, taking that right hand into the center of the chest. Inhale, lift the left arm up, opening through the chest. Exhale, come through center to switch. So inhaling to open, exhaling to switch sides. So think of shifting those hips slightly side to side, opening up through that side body. And just one more each direction. Making your way back to that centered position on all fours. Go ahead and extend long through the right leg, lifting it hip height, pressing that heel behind you, and pressing that chest away from the floor. Once you're ready, extend long through the left fingertips. Now continue that breath here. Long inhales and exhales through the nose. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release down to switch sides. This time extending long to the left leg, pressing that heel back behind you. And then as you engage through the abs and press away from the floor, extend long through the right fingertips. And then find that breath again. Take one more inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower. And now continue here with your own breath. So inhaling, keep the body long. Exhale to switch. And again, inhale to lengthen, heels through fingertips. Exhale to switch. Using the pace of your own breath. And again, one more each side. And returning again to all fours, go ahead and tuck the toes, lift the knees just one little inch off the floor. So pulling that belly button up towards the spine, engaging through the abs, drawing those shoulders down away from the ears. Beginning to brace through the core. And gently release the knees down. Take the knees wide out to the edges of your mat, toes together, press the hips back. And always using this pose throughout class anytime you do need that recovery. On that next inhale, step that right foot through the hands, maybe helping it forward if you need to, making sure that right knee is stacked over the ankle. So already noticing that stretch through the front of that back thigh. Now you can hold here if you wish. Otherwise, you're going to curl the toes underneath, lift the knee, and then press forward and back. So keeping that right heel planted into the floor, but think of that small calf raise through that back leg. So creating a little mobility in that ankle, lifting that left knee away from the ground. Now come back to that neutral position, plant the hands, step that right foot back. So you can either step back to a plank or a single leg plank, but you're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Once you're there, you're going to bring those forearms underneath, parallel with one another. The elbows directly underneath the shoulders, then lift through the chest. Lift the chin slightly. Open up through the front side of the body. So you should feel that length through the abs. And then go ahead and gently let everything release. Bring those hands by the shoulders, engage through the abs. Press back into that child's pose for one breath. On the next inhale, step the left foot out in front. Again, helping it forward if you need to, the knee stacked over the ankle. Driving that back hip down and forward. Now maybe holding here or tucking the toes underneath, lifting that knee away from the ground, and then shifting that weight front and back. Keeping that left heel in contact with the ground. Continuing that breath even as you move. And then again, planting those hands firmly, either stepping that foot back into a solid plank or lifting that left foot, lowering all the way down. And then again, go ahead and bring those forearms underneath, parallel with one another, shoulders directly over the elbows, and then lift the chest, drive the shoulders down and back, lengthen through the neck. And then go ahead and let everything release. Hands by the shoulders. Go ahead and press back into that child's pose. Last time, one breath. On the next inhale, lift to all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, press into the heels. So finding that first down dog of the day, spreading the fingers wide, bicycling through the legs. On the next exhale, press through both heels. Inhale, extend long through the right leg. As you exhale, shift forward, bring that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Again, releasing that knee down if you need it. Otherwise, keep it lifted, and we're going to circle here. So you're going to shift a little to the left, a little forward, a little to the right, and back. Again, creating a little mobility through the hips. And then on that next breath, find that neutral position, step that right foot back, lower all the way down to the floor. This time taking those hands to the low back, stacking the hands on top of one another. Now lift those elbows away from the ground. On that next breath, lift the chest. So lengthening through the neck, taking that focus just out in front of you, beginning to engage through the low back. Slowly let everything release. Bring those hands up by the shoulders and from the knees or the toes, press up. Lift the hips, press back into down dog. Let the head and the neck hang heavy. On that next inhale, extend long through the left leg. As you exhale, carry that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Again, releasing that knee if you need it, otherwise keeping that knee lifted. And again, circling here. So a little side to side, a little front and back. Come back to that neutral position, step the left foot back. Knees or toes lower to the floor. Bringing those hands to the low back, those palms facing up for the ceiling. Again, draw those elbows away from the floor, engaging through that upper back. And then on that next breath, lift the chest. And then continue that breath here. Shoulders down and back, squeezing through that upper back. Let everything release. Hands by the shoulders, knees or toes press straight up. Exhale, press back. Making sure those feet are hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. Again, let the head and the neck fall heavy. Now slowly walk those hands back to the feet. Find that first forward fold. And then just a little soften in the knees, tuck the chin, slowly roll everything up. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, lower. And go ahead and walk yourself up to the front of your mat, moving through those sun salutations. With a little twist in the center, you're going to take those feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back, so fingertips either to the floor or to the fronts of the shins. Create that length from the hips through the crown of the head. Exhale, forward fold. On that inhale, step only the right leg back. And then reach that left arm up, twisting towards that front leg. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step back to plank, knees or toes. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back, lifting through the hips, pressing to the heels. Inhale, extend long through the right leg. Exhale, carry the right foot through the hands, followed by the left. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to chair. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back, again, fingertips to the floor or the front of the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step just the left leg back. Inhale, reach that right arm up, again, twisting towards that front leg. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step back to plank. Knees or toes, exhale to lower. Inhale, lift the chest. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back. Inhale, extend long through the left leg. Exhale, carry the left foot through the hands, followed by the right. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to chair. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step just the right leg back. Inhale, reach that left arm up. Rotate through the spine. Exhale to lower. Inhale, step back, knees or toes. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, press back. Inhale, extend long through the right leg. Exhale, carry the right foot through the hands, followed by the left. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to chair. Last time, inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step just the left leg back. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, step back to plank, knees or toes. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, press back. Inhale, extend long through the left leg. Exhale, carry the left foot through the hands, followed by the right. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to chair. Inhale, reach. Exhale to mountain. Now go ahead and step that foot out, coming sideways onto your mat. And taking those feet much wider than the hips, much wider than the shoulders, those feet parallel with one another. Now you're going to take those arms back behind you. You can either interlock those hands here, or you can take those hands to your low back and squeeze the elbows behind you. Whatever works best for you to open up through the chest and the front of the shoulders. Inhale, take the focus up. Exhale, forward fold. So allowing those arms to lift off of the low back. Find that breath here, sink that weight back into the heels. And let the head and the neck hang heavy. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release the hands down. And then finding that stretch that works best for you today. So maybe the palms, maybe fingertips, maybe reaching back behind the heels or back behind the body. Wherever you get that best stretch through the hamstrings. Spend just a little time here, maybe shifting the hips right and left, finding some other tight spots. As you make your way back to center, tuck the chin, slowly roll everything up. And then turning that one foot to the side of the room. Inhale, reach the arms out into that T, tuck the hips underneath, engage through the abs, sink into that front leg. Now you may have to take that stance a little bit wider, allowing that knee to rest right over the ankle. Shoulders down and back, taking that focus over the fingertips. Finding length through the arms in this warrior two. If you want that little challenge, just sink a little lower into that front leg. Inhale, reverse warrior. So maybe placing that hand lightly on the back of the leg or wrapping that hand around the low back. Staying low in that front leg. On that next exhale, release that forearm down to the thigh. Reach that arm up overhead. So now creating length from the heels through the fingertips. Now as we move into this next balance pose, if you do have anything like a yoga block out in front of you, you can use that. We're going to shift that weight into that right leg, moving on to that half moon pose. So maybe taking that hand up a little bit higher, even a stack of books works. And then maybe reaching that arm up towards the ceiling. Pressing that heel back behind you. And then soften that leg, coming back to that centered position. And bring those feet parallel with one another once again. Take a nice big inhale up. Exhale, lower. So again, interlocking those hands behind you or taking those hands to the low back, those fingertips pointing down. Lift those arms off of the hips if you can. Inhale, take the focus up. Exhale, forward fold. Allowing those arms to lift off of the low back. Letting the head hang heavy. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release those hands again, finding that position is a little challenging for you. Maybe reaching behind the heels or behind you. And again, maybe shifting that weight right and left. Once you're ready, tuck the chin, slowly roll everything up. And keeping this foot forward, go ahead and turn the toes out. Inhale, reach the arms out into that T. Relax the shoulders down. sink into that front leg, maybe taking that stance a little wider if you need it. But tuck the hips underneath, squeeze through the glutes. Inhale, reverse warrior. So again, maybe lightly placing that hand on the back of the leg or wrapping it around the low back. Staying low in the front leg. Inhale, lift through center. As you exhale, release that forearm down to the thigh. Reach through the fingertips. So create that length from the heel through the fingertips and creating space to the bottom side of the waist. Now again, moving into that half moon pose. So maybe if you do have that item to reach to, you can use that. Otherwise, you're going to shift that weight into that left foot. Press and extend. Press that heel back behind you. And if you can, open up that chest. Open up the arm. Pressing that heel behind you. And as you release, soften through that front leg. Make your way back to that lunge. Bring everything back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower. Go ahead and toe heel those feet right underneath the hips. Take one more breath. This time, interlocking those hands overhead, pressing those palms up to the ceiling, but drawing those shoulders down away from the ears. Take everything to the side. Still inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhale, lift through center, draw the shoulders down. Take everything to the other side. Inhale, lift to center. Exhale, release the arms down. And go ahead and make your way back to the front of your mat once again. Those feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. So either palms, fists, either on the floor, or again, if you do have that block, maybe taking those hands up a little bit higher. But keeping those feet hip distance apart, take that right hand into the center of the chest. Soften the right knee. Inhale, reach the left arm up. So keeping both heels planted into the floor, shift as much weight as you can into that left heel. Noticing that stretch to the outside of the left thigh, up the IT band, into the hip. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, return to center, straightening through both legs, letting the head hang heavy. And then switching sides, planting that left hand, again, palm or fist, soften the left knee, straighten through the right. Inhale, reach the right arm up. So this time, shifting as much weight as you can into that right heel. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release back to center. Inhale, lift the chest flat back. So again, hands either to the floor or to the fronts of the shins. Create length through the body. Exhale, forward fold. And this time as you inhale, go ahead and step those feet back into plank. Shoulders stacked over the wrists. Find just a couple breaths here. And then release the knees down, crossing those legs behind you, coming into a seated position. So bringing those feet about hip distance apart, you're actually going to externally rotate through those shoulders so that you actually turn those fingertips so they're going to point back behind you. So you're already opening up through the chest, through the fronts of the shoulders. The further that you start those feet out, it's going to be a little bit easier on the hips. The closer you bring those feet, it's going to be a little more challenging. So go ahead and bring that right ankle to the left knee and then press the chest forward. Lift high and open that knee out to the side. So you might not notice much of a stretch if you begin to sink into those arms, but think of pressing forward. Maybe taking that foot out a little bit further if you need to so you can lift through the chest. Now flex through that right foot, keeping that ankle nice and neutral, but you're going to let everything tip to one side, come back through center, and let it tip to the other. And just move at your own pace here, spend a little extra time where you need it. And as you make your way back to center, just switching sides. So taking that left ankle up, flexing through the foot, pressing that chest forward. Probably quickly noticing that one side is a little tighter than another. Maybe you've already hit that hip, maybe this is the one. So adjust accordingly. Again, if you need to bring that foot out a little bit further in order to lift and lengthen through the back, or if you need that little extra, slide that heel in closer. And then when you're ready, still keeping the neck long and the shoulders down, go ahead and rotate to the side. Come through center. Continue that breath. One more time each side. And then as you make your way back to that centered position, bring those feet again hip distance apart, reach those arms out in front, and just slowly lower all the way back. One little vertebrae at a time. And once you're there, extend those legs out in front, arms overhead, reach fingertips to toes. So create length through the body. Take one more big inhale, extend. And then as you exhale, take those arms down by the sides. Let those feet come a little bit wider than the hips and the shoulders. Let the feet fall open. Palms up towards the ceiling. And then let those shoulders melt back into the floor. So nice long inhales, nice long exhales. And again, just spending our final minute here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Releasing any extra tension that you have in the body. Letting the shoulders melt back. Letting the hips and the glutes release. The feet rotating open. And go ahead and slowly walk those knees back into the chest. Hugging those knees in. As you exhale, round those shoulder blades up. Bring that forehead towards the knees. And then release the shoulders down. Use that next exhale to roll yourself up. And come into that seated position. So find that comfortable cross-legged position. Take a nice big inhale up. Exhale, lower. And one more breath. Inhale, bring the palms together overhead. Exhale, draw those hands heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys. Great job. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again for joining me, and hopefully I will see most of you next week. Thanks.